Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is the Dice Flare. In this video, I just want to show off and go over all of my kind of outdoor scenery type 3D prints. Almost everything on here was free, most of it from Thingiverse. I'll point out what wasn't free, but I feel like this has been so awesome to play with and so convenient to have. A disclaimer, I am terrible at painting, so don't judge the paint jobs on any of this stuff. So we'll just go over this really quick. So, you have your stone fences, then you have more of like a short stone wall, if you will, to kind of outline a property. You have these little plants. All of these were free on Thingiverse, one way or another. Right. Sorry if my exposure is a little high. Things are a lot darker if I put it any lower, but so we have lots of there's tons of rocks and stones and terrain like that that's free on Thingiverse. You have these kind of, I don't know what these would be, just pillars, rock pillars coming out of the ground, right? And I just did like 1 or 2 coats of just gray paint. That's it. This, watchtower, all these trees so far, these dead trees right here, these trees in the back, these brown trees, these green trees, these ones on the ground, and all of the small gray rocks that you see, all of that was free. Those smaller brown trees right here. So the things that were not free that I bought were all of these rocks right here. So these ones I painted a dark gray, and then I did a dry brush of a light, much lighter color over it. And I like how it turned out. I think technically these are supposed to be cliffs, but I haven't actually used them in a session yet, but I will be using them just as like mountains or cliff sides. I think they're designed to be like water cliffs, like on the ocean or something, but I mean, you can use them for whatever you want, honestly. So I have a lot of those that I've printed. And then the other things that were not free are just these trees up here. I think these are called gnarly trees on Printable Scenery. It was like $5. And these cliffs, I don't know, $8 or $10. I'm not off by too much if that's wrong. But those are the only things here that cost money. And there's so much variety and variation that I've been able to use these in for so many different kinds of encounters. And the base is just one of these, pink foam boards that you can buy at Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever. And I also bought a foam cutter, an electric foam cutter, just a little needle-like foam cutter. And it took a while, but I just cut these lines into it. So some of these lines are deeper than others. And I just did a black base coat and then kind of dry brush green on top of it, or did a green wash on top. It works perfect for what we need, for what I use it for. Like I'm not being too picky because I can't afford Dwarven Forge and all the nice battle mats and all that kind of stuff. And then the only other thing is I bought another foam board. So these are all the ones that I have. Again, some of these I cut grid system into just because I wanted there to be a grid. But then I realized while we were playing that most characters, that's only like, this top one is, I like how these look a lot better. So the sides are gray and the tops are kind of a brown green, right? So a character like on this one, that's only like 6 inches, which is 30 feet in D&D, right? So really a character is going to be able to move anywhere on here. And then for longer ones like that, you could just use a ruler or something. So with those, and then with all of this stuff, I've been able to make some awesome pieces for our game. Currently running Curse of Strahd right now. So that's why I printed off in the beginning. These are the most recent things I printed, were the new trees and the cliffs. Everything else has been great to play with, great to work with, especially the trees. There's a lot of variety, so many free assets on Thingiverse. I think this is all of the outdoor scenery type stuff that I have. Um, I did the dungeon in a previous video, so I think the next video I'll do will be a cave system, which I'm super happy with. It's also free on Thingiverse. But let me know your thoughts if you have any questions, or if you want links to where the 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 cliffs or the big trees in the back are. I think those are both just on Printable Scenery, or the cliffs might be on a different one. I'm not sure. But yeah, I just want to show this stuff off because I know that there's likely a ton of game masters or dungeon masters that would love to, get into 3D printing and have, 3D game combat encounters at their table, but they might just be overwhelmed at the thought of 3D printing and filament and, painting and getting all this stuff. I am less than a novice painter, terrible. I've tried to watch videos of how to do it better on YouTube, which is where I learned, simple things like dry brushing. Um, so, like, I think these big trees look the best of everything I've printed, and that's just a base dark brown and then like a light, what is it, mocha color or something I dry brushed onto it, and I think it looks great. Um, and you don't, honestly, you don't notice little details like that during gameplay. You really don't. So just the fact that stuff like this is on the table makes it so much funner, brings it to life. But it's really not difficult. Honestly, if I can do this, anybody can do this. I printed everything on a Bamboo A1 Mini, which is like the easiest starter printer out there. Um, Probably one of the cheapest. Goes on sale pretty often, I think. So again, a ton of free assets on Thingiverse. Go and take a look, meander through it. It's super fun to get into. But all right, have a good day.